Okay, so project type, the project 5 of the typeface story campaign. We're creating these campaigns. We're doing a 10 frame carousel. So we're going to want to show all 10 of those carousel frames flat, just so we can see them next on our final. Plus, you're going to save those out as a PDF so you can bring them into Mural, and then we can release the PDF and you will see all 10 frames. But we're also going to create a mock-up. And this mock-up is important because this is how you're going to show your work, your final work in your portfolio. And so you're going to do it for me too, so I can see it, but I want to make sure that you know how to do it. So we're going to go through that. So what I've done is I've put 4 different Adobe stock mock-ups here, and they're all AI files. So they're all AI files, except that, you know, we've been working in Illustrator. So let me open up Illustrator, and I have them here. So I'm just going to show you what they are. So here we are in Illustrator, and I'm opening up the layers so that you can see how they're constructed. So there's a background, and you can change this background to anything you want. I probably would not keep this rainbow. It's really bright and distracting. So you may not want to keep this rainbow and just do something very simple in the background. You can make the background anything you want. I'm going to just turn it off for the moment. And then you have the group, which is showing you all the different layers. I'm just going to delete them. You can see there's a frame, a background, a frame, a background. Now you see that there's only 3 right here, and we did 10. So what you would need to do to make this work is you can do a couple things for your portfolio. You can show like your top 3 frames if you want to show them bigger, or you can expand this and take and go ahead with the background and the artboard and make it bigger. So you can go to window. Where is my artboard? Oh, here it is. Sorry, I have 2 monitors and sometimes these things go all over the place. So here's the artboard. I'm going to take the artboard and oh, here it is. Sorry, I just looked for my tools. They had floated everywhere. And I can take and make this artboard different sizes. So I could decide to make it further around and make it wider if I wanted to. And then of course, if I do that, it would be wider. I mean, it would be smaller in my Behance. So you may or may not want to do that, but you could make it wider. And then you can take and you can see these. So this is that and that. So I could take these, oops. Holding my shift key down, I can select 2 of my layers, and then I can pull them down and copy them. And so let me just see where they've gone. I can select this one and this one. You know what, they're all grouped. Hold on, everything's grouped. Object, ungroup. Bring that over. I cannot bring everything. Let me bring one thing at a time. So you can see how you can take, I can grab both of these and just align it. And you can add as many as you want. That's my point. So you have the flexibility here. Okay. And then of course your design would go in this gray frame. Let's look at another one. Oh, this is not. I was looking at multiple things and oh my goodness. Are all the jars up and not? Okay. Dear, dear, dear. There we go. Okay. Here is another one. And so again, you can see here it is, and here's all the layers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you could add more, you can do partial. It's up to you how many frames you want to show in a frame. So you could do multiples of these too. So you could do, you know, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you could go back to this one. Oh my gosh, how many jars do I have in here? There we go. 7, 8, 9, 10. So you could do one that's 4, and then you could do one that's 6, and show both, you know what I mean? And show it in 2 frames in your Behance, which isn't a bad idea because 10 is really long. So breaking these up, even 5 and 5 wouldn't be a bad idea to show it. Here's another one, a little simpler, a little less graphic. So that's another way you could go. Here's another one. Just they're all different kind of styles. And you guys get the idea that you can kind of make it as many frames as you want. And then there's that rainbow one again. Okay, and so these are all in, where are we? Boom, they're all here. All 4 are in the mockups underneath in the project folder, the project 5 folder, and they're just right here. You can just link to them right there. So if we look at our typeface story, which is what we're in the midst of. So our final is today, we're just going to look at refinements, any refinements you have and get some feedback on them. For our final presentation on Tuesday, we're going to look at our 10-panel Instagram carousel campaign just flat. We're going to look at the mock-up of your campaign on a phone. And if you want, you could make an animated GIF of the story frames. And we'll talk about that if there's anyone interested in that. If you need a walkthrough on that, I can talk you through it. If you already know it, we can have a conversation about that. Deliverables on Blackboard, super important. Don't forget this step. We're going to upload the 10-panel Instagram as a multi-page PDF, and that's what we're going to need to for our critique on Tuesday. And then you're going to also upload the mock-up of your campaign saved as a PDF. Or it could actually be a JPEG. Either one is fine. It doesn't have to be a PDF. So that's fine for that one. Okay. All right, I'm going to open it up for questions. I see there's some chat messages. You may want to put this on Behance. We do not have to do it for this class because you've already done your alphabet for this class. But if you want to put it on Behance, you definitely can. And you may want to put it on Behance in a future when you work on your portfolio later. So it's up to you. That's a totally up to you choice. You're going to keep building your portfolio as you go through the program. So you have that. But you know, the idea is regardless of we're putting it on our Behance for the class, you want to have the files you need to put your portfolio pages together. So yeah, it's a good question though. Any other questions?
I know it's optional how many we can put there, but is there a minimum?
For the
Okay.
mock-up? No, not a minimum. I think the main thing is you want to show that it's a carousel. So probably as long as you're choosing one of those mock-ups I gave you that has like, I think 3 is the least amount. As long as you're doing that. So you're showing multiple frames in the mock-up because you want to be able to show the campaign, the storyline, but you don't have to necessarily show all of them if you don't want to in the mock-up.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, great. Well, I think the mock-up is pretty self-explanatory. You guys, you know Illustrator enough to manage that. Oh, Raul, did you have a question? I just saw your frame light up.
Yes. So the PDF that we're saving is going to be on Illustrator that we're turning in. We turning in the mockup on the.
The mock-up will be done in Illustrator. So even if you've done your files in InDesign, you
Mhm.
can output them as a PDF, and then those PDFs can be opened in Illustrator to put in the mock-up.
Okay.
Okay, so you
All
don't
right.
have to recreate anything. If you've done it in InDesign, just needs to save each frame separately as a PDF, and then bring that separate PDFs into Illustrator to put into the mock-up frame.
Okay. All right.
All right, good question. Very good question. Anyone else? All right, good. All right, let me